Hello, real estate agents, and welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. How are you doing in 2019, Joey?
What's going on, man? I had a great holiday season. You?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah. We're the Real Estate Marketing Maniacs. We've got an awesome guest with us today.
Oh, yeah.
That's Butch, Leiber, co-owner of Desert Fairways Realty. How's it going, Butch?
It's going very well, thank you. Good to see you guys.
You know, I'm excited about this one because I get into all these numbers and charts and stuff, and
this
I know
is
you're
show, Jeff.
going to break down some stuff for us.
I am a numbers geek when it comes to real estate.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, okay, welcome. You're at the right table then for for this show. Why don't we first start with letting the agents know that are listening and watching how long you've been in business and what got you into it to begin with.
I got my license back in 2002. In 2002, pretty much everybody was getting a real estate license. I was working for a small company then that did dental supplies, and all the sales reps were getting their real estate license, and I had no interest. There was no interest. And my partner at the time suggested that I go into real estate because like looking at houses and thought it'd be fun. So I'll tell you what, I'll call a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And she's a realtor. I'll see what she says. And we were left dinner, walked to the movies, and she was in line in front of me. So I took that as divine intervention.
All right.
And then we had lunch the next day. The day after that, I quit my job. The day after that, I started real estate school. And 3 weeks later, I had my license. And I've been doing it ever since. Yeah.
Ever since.
Yeah.
So you saw the run up and then the crash,
Yep.
and now kind of a run up again, I guess, right?
Some degree of it. Yeah, yeah.
I know we'll get into that a little bit, but so what are you guys doing over there at Desert Fairways? I know you're trying to grow. You're growing now, right?
We're trying to grow,
brokerage?
yeah. So we're about 6 years old as a brokerage. I joined about 2.5, 3 years ago. There were 4 of us. We now have 21 agents.
Okay.
And we're a boutique agency. We're about customer service. There's a shift in the real estate market in the last few years, particularly in Phoenix, with the rise of the no-fee agencies.
Got it.
And a lot of agents go work for these low-fee agencies. The problem is they don't get the support, they don't get the training they need. We have a lot of realtors wandering around the valley who think they know what they're doing, and then you do a transaction with them, and they're like, you need to get some training. But the brokerages have no stake in their success, because they're going to get their monthly fees, their per transaction. It's about numbers. It's not about quality.
Sure.
So our brokerage is about for people that want to make a difference, that want to be professionals in real estate, that want to have a successful career. And so we're big on training. We're big on support. We help any of our agents who want to get the broker's license. We help pay for that so that we have quality, educated agents on our team out making a difference in the world. It's more than just selling houses. It's about making a difference in the world for people.
Absolutely. What are some examples of some of the training that you guys do?
We do. We have a series of classes. The basic stuff.
I have a feeling you do a lot of like Cromford.
We do a lot
of.
Well, it's a lot of things, right? It's mindset. It's philosophy. It's what's your. I'm a big believer in where your focus is. Like when you talk to somebody, when you talk to somebody, they're trying to sell you something. You also know when you talk to somebody who actually cares about you and is listening and is present. So we talk a lot about mindset and where you're coming from. We never talk about counting your transactions and counting your commissions. We talk about who you're making a difference for today. Who are you helping? I'll never ask, how many sales did you do this week? It's how many people have you impacted this week? Because that's the difference. If you do that, business follows. So it's all about being authentic. I teach a class on authentic prospecting.
Nice.
So that the things you do to generate business actually are fun. They're not work. It's not challenge because you're doing things you like to do.
Yeah.
I take my dog to the dog park every weekend. I used to every weekend. And I did 7 deals out of the dog park in 1 year just by talking about real estate and making friends with people, building relationships. And that's what it should be for everybody.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, there's 10% of the agents in the valley, 8% of the agents who are the people that like the cold calls, like the numbers, doing all that stuff. And for the rest of us, we're taught at the big agencies to do those things, and nobody wants to. Do you want a cold call? Do you want a door knock?
No.
So my our training's all about how do you bring your authenticity, your joy, your pleasures to your business.
Yeah.
Have it represent who you are and be successful. I've never sold less than 20 houses in a year.
Wow.
In doing my business, except this year because I've been too busy running the company.
Let me ask you this. I know the cold calls, the door knocking, and those types of things are probably the quickest way to get business. Now, in regards to the way you're doing it, which is awesome, is relationship building. Now, that takes a little time. So do you suggest that they do make the cold calls and phone calls and door knocking?
It's personal to the agent. Like, what does the agent need? What does the agent want? And if there are ways to talk to your sphere and ways to build those relationships that can generate business faster.
Yeah.
A lot of new agents, they're told, sit open houses, go door knock, talk to your, but what do you say to your friends? What do you say to the people in your sphere?
Sure.
To get them to send you referrals, to right? People have to know you, like you, and trust you. How do you build trust and credibility? I teach a class to my agents. It's 2 words you can never say as a real estate agent, and that's trust me.
Wow.
Because as soon as you say trust me, people are like, why?
They don't trust
right,
you.
They don't trust you. So how do you build trust and credibility just by being trustworthy and credible?
Yeah.
And by doing that, you can build business quicker.
I like that.
People respond to authenticity.
I like
They don't respond to sales.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you thought about getting your dog a sweater that says "Owned by Butch"? Real estate agent.
I have not. I market in a lot of ways, but I do not use my dog for marketing.
All right.
Well, other than the dog park.
Okay, so you do.
Of course. Yeah, well,
You have
that's
those-
what it's for, to meet people and to, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. So as far as the brokerage, what do you see then for 2019 as far as growth mode? You're out there recruiting, I'm assuming. What are you guys doing?
Well, so it's interesting because how many emails do you get per week from brokerages that we're best, we're the greatest, pay no fees? One of the brokerages I get at least an email a week that has a sloth on it. I don't understand marketing with a sloth. I don't know how that gets them agents to come work for them. I don't get it. We don't do the emails.
We move at sloth speed. Yeah.
We look for people that that think like us, that operate like us, and we run into them everywhere, and we just have conversations. But we're stepping up how we get in front of people this year, and we're trying to do things that are different, things that nobody else does, because there's so many things, if you look in real estate, that we do because everybody else does them. Yeah. And we do them because we have to, or the industry says we should, or our brokers say that's what you do. Well, what happens when you think outside the box? These companies like Open Door and Homey are growing because they're coming at the business from outside the box that we're not doing, and because they're providing quality service and relationships with people. They own right now. Open Door, OfferPad own about 5 or 6% of the transactions, all the transactions that are done, they're involved in, which is a huge chunk of the market.
Sure.
Even the top actual agent, only has about 1% of the business. So for them to have 5 or 6 as a company is crazy.
That is crazy.
And because so many agents are all about selling transactions and who's my next customer,
right.
and they're not actually about service, taking care of people. So
Got it.
long as that happens, it's going to keep damaging our industry. I'm committed to having our industry change.
Yeah.
I'm having, when people have most respected professions, that we're not down at the bottom.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we're up at the top of the list, because people take care of people. It's not just about sales.
Yeah, absolutely. So agents that are listening or watching, if they do want to reach out to you directly, how do they do that?
They can call me directly. My phone number is 602-390-1399, or just go to my website, talkwithbutch.com. And there's a link at the bottom that says careers.
Cool.
And it'll tell them a little bit about the company and what we do.
Talkwithbutch.com.
Talkwithbutch.com.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you are a big Cromford guy, right?
I love the Cromford Report.
Okay.
When I got very lucky when I first got in the business to meet Tina Tambor, who works with Cromford, one of the young Cromford, and she just knows the market. She's an analyst. She can look at data and tell you what's going on. I love data. And for the last few years, I keep telling her she has to have classes to teach. Because I'll go listen to her talk and go home and I'm kind of lost. And I call her for advice and how do I use this. So she said last year, well, go ahead and put classes together if you want. So I started to teach agents how to use Cromford in their business. I'm always shocked when I hear that 1 or 2% of all the agents in the Valley actually subscribe to Cromford.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I think I was reading it was about that.
It's a
about
small
1%
percentage,
or something.
right?
Yeah.
When you buy or sell a house, you don't sell in a bubble. You're selling it in a marketplace that something's happening. It's going up, it's going down, it's shifting. What Cromford does, it lets you look at the market and say, okay, here's what's happening. Here's what's happening in the community, in that zip code, in that area. Because what's happening in 85255 is not what's happening in 85007. So it lets you hone in and understand what's happening. Then you can actually take care of people. You can actually price homes appropriately for where they are and what they do. So I love using Cromford. I teach classes now for agents. We have 3 classes. One for, it's like the beginners, people who have used it and don't. So many people use and go, I don't know where to find these reports. So we talk about the 5 or 10 most important reports. Yeah. And then I've got a more advanced class that talks a little bit more about interpreting the reports, how to read them, how to understand what you're looking at. And starting sometime early this year, We're going to be having more classes for people who have never used the Cromford Report. And Michael Orr, who created Cromford and still owns it and runs it, has agreed to give a free month of subscription for people who want to come to one of those classes to see what it's about, how to use it, and how it can make a difference in your business.
Got it.
So,
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Cromford. I use it myself. Joey and I look at things on there, and I guess one of the things that there are a lot of agents in the Valley, somewhere between 50 and 60,000 from what I hear. I don't know the exact number, but the Cromford is probably not for the majority. Would you think?
It's for people who want to understand the market and make sure they're operating in the market consistent with what's happening.
Right. Okay.
So I went on a listing presentation.
And I didn't mean that to knock agents out there.
No, it's fine.
But I mean, it's very analytical. It's very, to understand what you're looking at takes some time.
Yeah. Every agent who works with sellers, particularly list houses, knows how to pull comps. And any agent who works with buyers knows how to pull comps to say, okay, here's what the house you like is worth. What Cromford does is lets you take that MLS data and look at it at a bigger picture. Right, here's what it looks like in comps in your area, but what's happening in the market, what's happening in the neighborhood. I went on a listing presentation, about a year and a half ago, and the lady had interviewed like 5 agents, top agents in the area, the neighborhood expert, and me. And she hired me, and when she told me who she also interviewed, I was shocked that I got the listing. And they had all talked to her about either prices that were way too high or way too low. And I asked why she hired me. She says, because you had real data that showed me what my house was going to sell for. And sure enough, we sold it in about 2 days, actually over the asking price because there was competition. We had to fight. The problem then, too, is fighting for the appraisal.
Sure.
But we got that done, and she got her house sold quickly and got to move out of state, and it was great. So Cromford data helped me get that business, and it usually does. It provides that credibility. I can tell you, here's what I think your house is worth. I can show you charts and data that says, here's what the market says your house is worth. Do you want to fight the market? Do you want to, what are your needs? Let's price it so it fits what you need.
Yeah, got it. So Cromford, from what I understand too, it allows you to kind of look forward just a little bit in time, right? Versus the MLS is almost always looking in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, the MLS is what's happening now or just what happened. With Cromford, he graphs everything. Everything's in a graph. So you can look at trends. You can look at the numbers. One of the interesting trends that has been happening the last couple of months.
I was just going to ask you, share with the agents what's going on.
So we've been saying for the last 2 years, we're low on inventory, low on inventory, low on inventory. Since January of 2017, we've been about 20% below the year before in terms of listings. So 2017 was 20% below 2016, and this year we've been about 20% below 2017 up until July. And just this month, we have more inventory today than we had last year at this time. So we've just shifted as a valley-wide to having more inventory than we had last year. So that's a trend.
Yeah.
So you can look at that trend and go, okay, why are listings going up? What's happening that's causing that? When you look at the buyer trends, you see that supply is doing fine, but the buyers aren't there. The buyers have stopped buying.
Right.
So buying trends have gone down, so it's caused all these listings to go up. The scariest part is that most of that increase is in the 250 to 400 range. That there's a huge...
Which should be gobbled up pretty quick.
Should be gobbled up quick. But sellers got greedy this year. They kept hearing on the news that it was a hot seller's market, so they overpriced houses. And then interest rates went up, and so buyers said, we're not buying this. We're not paying higher interest rates. We're not overpaying for houses anymore, like happened in 2005 and 6.
Yeah.
And so houses are sitting on the market longer, and inventory has grown. That will change. I think that... February, April, May, Phoenix always takes off in the market. Even in a slow year,
sure.
It's the hottest time of year. So
Sure.
We'll see that shift, but it's been an interesting shift that the inventory has shot up
Right.
in almost every price point except over $3 million.
All right. Well, I know a lot of agents out there, one of their, a simple answer for them when somebody asks, why is this, we seen a slowdown, right, is, it's seasonal. But there are definitely some very unseasonal things happen.
There are. The interesting thing with seasonal too is that even though we are a seasonal market, right, that second quarter is the busy time of year, and then it slows down.
Yeah.
In December, it only slows down about a third from what it is at the peak. So There's still plenty of business going on in November, December. The slowdown this time of year is an excuse for realtors to not have to work during the holidays. That is not. It's not a real reality of the market.
Yeah, absolutely. How long did it take you, I guess, to really learn the Cromford like you like you do?
Going to see Tina whenever I can. Whenever Tina's doing a presentation, she does talks all around the valley, 3-4 times a week. So whenever I see that she's talking someplace, I go to listen to her because I can read the charts, but I can't do the analysis like she does. So just listening to her and looking at the charts on a daily basis. In Cromford, they have something called daily observations, where Michael or Tina will share with, here's what we're seeing in the numbers, here's what's happening in this market, here's what's happening in this market. And sometimes it applies to what I'm doing, sometimes it doesn't. But it helps me stay on top of what's going on.
Right.
So.
Yeah, just so the listeners know, we do have Tina on one of our episodes. So go back through the archives and check her out.
And if you haven't met Tina Tambor, go listen to the episode, watch the episode, and find her wherever she is. They used to do a CE class with Michael and Tina for How's the Market. We're bringing that back this year. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand in for Michael. Yeah. I don't know nearly as much as he does, and I don't have that great British accent.
Yeah, I'm going to say he sounds really smart.
We're going to bring back those credit classes for people. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what he says. He just sounds
brilliant.
Smart, right?
Yeah. The British accent, we'll do that for you.
That's great.
You just got to practice that.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go. Every time I try an accent, my wife says it sounds Mexican to me, like Spanish accent.
My wife tells me I sound Indian.
Oh, really?
Yes. My best friend's from Jamaica, and I try to do. Her mother has this great accent. When I do it, she's like, "She's not from Mexico. She's from Jamaica." I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So I don't even try anymore.
Yeah. So what's the chart here that you brought? Did you want to share something off of this chart here?
Well, no. This was just kind of what's happening. Right now, listings are down. I mean, active listings are down. But they're higher than they've been. Like I said, they're higher than last year compared to previous years.
Right.
Inventories, the level of business is still low. When you look at the number of transactions, it looks like the market's really robust.
Sure.
Except that with these open door offer pads, each transaction they do is 2. So and since they have 5 or 6% of all the transactions, it looks like we have this huge number of transactions, but in reality, it's less than that.
Sure.
Because they buy a house and resell it. So they buy a house and resell it. So it's 2 transactions, not 1.
Right.
So it looks like the market's robust. Well, it is, except that it's not quite as robust as it looks. The numbers are a little misleading.
Sure.
And that's why I love Tina. She looks at that and says, here's why that number's wrong.
Got it. Got it. Now, interest rates, obviously, everybody's talking about rates, right? The Fed raised again, and I know that doesn't have a direct hit against the mortgage rate, essentially, but it's a delayed
reaction. Yeah,
it ends up happening, right? Yeah. Do we feel like, and I know interest rate doesn't necessarily correlate with prices up, prices down. I know Mike Orr talks about that a lot,
right?
But what do you think if rates just continue this year up a little bit?
When did you buy your first house?
1998, I think.
What was your interest rate in 1998?
8.25%, I think.
You bought a house, right?
Yeah.
I bought my first house in 1996.
I bought it for $68,000.
Yeah. My first house was 130, and our interest rate was 10.5%. People have to live someplace.
Sure.
And you could pay rent, or you could own. You can own at 3% interest in 2000. 15, 16, great. But now it's 6, almost 6,
right.
Or 5.
Yeah.
Let me 5, and then it'll be 6, and it'll be 7. And it's going to go up. People still are going to buy houses. They're going to have to move.
Yeah.
It'll slow the market down. It'll slow the growth down, but it's not going to kill the market because it's not coming back down again anytime soon. People are going to be waiting for it. It's not coming back to 3% anytime soon. And if it does, it's because something traumatic happened, and we don't want that. So.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Wow.
It does put buyers on. The biggest challenge right now is the buyers can't find what they want. They don't want to overpay for it. And with interest rates higher, they're like, I'd just rather rent than buy. At some point, they will buy. They will realize that it's in their best interest still to buy, even at the higher prices and higher interest rates. But what's interesting is in the last year, single-family sales were actually down this year over last year. And what's up are condos and mobile homes. Mobile home sales were significantly higher this year than last year.
Mobile home.
Because buyers who want to buy that can't afford the single-family home are looking for options. If they don't have kids and pets, condos work.
Sure.
If they have kids and pets, mobile homes. And I've been shocked. I have not sold a mobile home in a long time, but I have shown them to people out in Buckeye and the Southwest Valley. It's gorgeous out there. It's really surprising. You get a big piece of land and a nice manufactured home, and it's a whole lot less expensive than buying a tract
Maybe
home.
they're counting the tiny homes in that number.
Probably.
I'm just
Friend of mine built a tiny home in her backyard in Arcadia. It's really cute. Yeah.
yeah.
I did too, on a tree.
On a tree.
That was a while back, right?
Yeah.
What other fascinating things do you want to share with us today?
Fascinating things.
Well, I want to ask about this. Open Door, Homey, and those companies. Are you afraid of them?
No.
Okay.
It's a factor of the market.
Yeah.
You can't fight reality. Reality is Open Doors out there. Reality is Homey's out there. I don't like that what Homey's doing to denigrate real estate.
Yeah.
Right there, they really diminish what we do as professionals.
Sure they do.
Now, there's a good chunk of realtors that also diminish what we do as professionals, and they haven't gone away. So that's why it's important for people to be educated, be trained, understand the contract, understand the legal issues that people are involved in. When a transaction goes smoothly, sure, Open Door's great for it, and Homey, you don't pay them very much money. That's great.
Yeah.
But what happens when challenges arrive?
Yeah.
What happens when the title report comes in and there's all these issues on title?
That's right.
Does Homey have a representative who's going to help you work through that to buy the house you want? Or are they going to say, oh, well, cancel it and go find something else that works? Right? You want that house. A good realtor will help you navigate through those challenges that come up in transaction, provide the service, provide the education. Open Door's great. If you need to sell today, you need money today, Open Door's awesome. But if you care about the money in your pocket, talk to a professional real estate agent.
Absolutely.
Compare the two. Open Door, their marketing makes it look like an amazing deal. You got to do it. But when you get down the process with them and they send you the bill for, okay, we did our inspections, here's what you're going to pay us for
12%.
repairs. Yeah, it's a whole lot higher than what a realtor can get you on the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's no reason to be afraid. It's just a matter of education and be good at what you do. And that competition, there's always competition. We live in a commercial society, consumer-based society.
Yeah.
Be good and people will find you.
Yeah. I had coffee with another realtor. Gosh, it was a few months ago, but he said that one of the clients that he was kind of up for to list their home, they had mentioned they were just going to maybe use Open Door or OfferPad or something. So he had them get offers from all of them. Well, even Zillow. So they got one from Zillow, from Open Door, from OfferPad, and then he showed them what he would sell it at. And sure enough, he said they ended up getting $31,000 more.
Absolutely.
Than the highest bid.
Yeah, Open Doors. It's like when you pop into Circle K to get something quickly, you're paying more than you're going to pay at a grocery store.
True.
Right? Because it's convenience.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with Open Door, you're paying for that convenience. And that could be $20,000, $30,000 out of your pocket.
Absolutely. So the classes that you teach for Cromford, how often and how do people find out about them?
We do them a couple times a month. Security Title sponsors some of them. We have other people sponsoring them around town. We're trying to get them. We've been doing them mostly in the East Valley and Central Phoenix. We're trying to get some West Valley ones. But my schedule will be on trainingwithbutch.com, my other website.
Got it.
They'll
Okay.
list all the classes that I'm teaching as we schedule them.
Okay.
So they can go on there and register on there.
Cool. All right.
All right.
Anything else before we get in the ring? Or are you ready?
I think that's good. I got to talk about my amazing company and
Yes.
my incredible brain. No, it's been fun. It's been fun. Sure. Hit,
All right.
hit me.
All right, let's get in the ring.
Let's do it.
Here we go. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Oh.
Be yourself. Be true to yourself. When you live your life true to yourself, people respond, things work out. When you pretend to be something you're not, it never goes well. People know and it doesn't work.
All right. How about your favorite mobile app?
My favorite mobile app. I live on my phone all the time. In terms of real estate, I really like HomeSnap. It's free.
That's a good one.
They give it to us for us. It lets us stay in front of our customers. And when I'm out and about and need some information, it's got the fastest way to get what I need versus the IDX.
Yeah.
Flex
RPR
site
is starting to
terrible.
be really good.
RPR is good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like HomeSnap on the mobile phone.
All right. How about not real estate related?
You're gonna tell me? I'm gonna have to tell you that I'm addicted to Toon Crush, Candy Toon. I don't know what it is.
It's that
but
good.
it's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. It's time waster. I play a lot of card games on my phone,
Okay.
like Hearts or Euchre. So it's quick time wasters. And
All right. Oh, I have to share a story. My wife works with a mortgage company. They had a big party for Christmas, and they had some casino tables set up, right? So everybody get a little bit of play money, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm helping her. I'm standing behind her. She's playing, Texas Hold'em.
Oh,
First time she'd ever played.
Really?
wow,
It was her, and there were like 5 guys at the table, and she like took all their money. I mean,
Really?
all the
Terry
chip,
is so
the
good.
chips,
That's
the chips
impressive.
were just all lined up. I mean, they were just like, I took a picture of her. It's on Facebook. She's got her arms around all this.
What'd she win?
I'm like, baby, we're going to go to Vegas.
What'd she win?
Oh,
Play
it was
money?
just yeah. So it was just to get little entries into drawings. So she
Got it.
won $100.
I just learned from a friend of mine. There's 1 or 2 Vegas apps that you play online for nothing, for free, but you can win money at Vegas casinos and discounts and everything. So I may have to switch to those.
Wow.
Interesting. All right. How about a book recommendation?
Best book I've read in the last couple years is a business book called Extreme Leadership. It's written by 2 former Navy SEALs and talks about how, everything that happens, the people in leadership are responsible. There's no pass the buck. It's what did I do? And when things happen in life, you can look at like, well, my business is down because the market's down. That's putting responsibility someplace else. But okay, so the market's down, but my business is down. What can I do different? What am I missing that would make me still stay successful in that level of business? It's all about being personally responsible for everything that happens, good or bad.
Right.
Take credit when it's good, and take blame when it's bad. And look, it's a really great book, and they use a lot of Navy SEAL examples of, particularly the war in Afghanistan and Iraq, that what made it work, as everyone has a role in leadership, and when things didn't work, where it broke down, and how everyone at every step of the way took responsibility. It wasn't that guy wasn't trained, it's I didn't train him well enough.
Wow.
Awesome book.
All right. Are you ready for a secret question here?
Uh-oh.
All right, go ahead.
Secret
This
scary
is
question.
beautiful. What is that, velvet?
All right, what'd you get?
Who was your favorite singer or band in high school?
I told him that might be in there. Oh.
I just saw that in January this month. The current incarnation of Styx is going to be here. I loved Styx when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I saw them in concert 2, 3, 4 times. I grew up in Philadelphia. We drove to the Meadowlands or New York to see them up there. I loved Styx back in the 80s.
Right.
So, and they're still around, which is shocking.
and-
I guess they have a new album that's their best album since Kilroy, which was not great. But I was a big Styx fan back in the day.
Babe, I love you. I mean, what's
Babe,
the-
I love you. Yeah.
Yeah, all those older bands are like coming back. They got to make one more run at it, right?
It's amazing. All the rock and rollers, at least from my childhood, are in their 70s and 80s. Elton John
right.
is 71 doing his farewell 3-year tour at 71, his farewell tour. Of course, Cher's done 8 farewell tours now.
And then Rolling Stones, I don't know how they can be up there.
Mick
just
Jagger is the
dancing
same
like
age as my
crazy.
father. My father's 80. Mick Jagger
So he's
is
gotta
like
become a-
78, 79.
a
And
rock
he's still on
star.
stage dancing. Yeah, something about the life just tells you sex, drugs, and rock and roll keep you alive for a long time, right?
That's weird.
Oh, wow. Well, we need to give a shout out to Susan, right?
Yeah,
Susan Cunningham, security title. She is
Bring
the
it
best.
over? Yeah, she's
and not
awesome.
just Susan, it's her team of escrow officers
That's
as well.
true.
So Susan's great. As an agent, I'm always looking for ways to get better and ideas to get better. And Susan's somebody that coaches and trains agents to be successful and offers solutions and products that just work. But I bring my escrows to Victoria Smith is my escrow officer that I love here.
All right.
But there's 3 or 4 here in the Camelback office, and she's in the Tatum office as well.
Yep.
Great escrow officers that do a great job. For me, working with vendors that make my clients happy, that make me look good, that I don't have to worry, I don't have to chase them down for information, makes all the difference in the world. And security titles is that vendor. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
We appreciate
Susan.
that. Yeah, awesome. I guess that's it, man.
That's
Awesome. This
it.
was
Is there
fun. This was great.
Any
Good
last
information.
words? No, we're good.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the agents listening, right?
Yep.
Are you fulfilled by your business? Is your business just a job, or is it a hobby, or is it a career? And do you treat it like a career? And if not, why not? What's it going to take to have you love every aspect of your business? That's what I'm about.
That's
That's
a
what my
great
company is
question.
about.
Good stuff.
Absolutely, man.
I'm going to be starting this year, just one last plug for me, coaching, individual coaching for agents, to actually who want to do that, who, it's bringing a new way of thinking, transformational thinking to your industry and to your business. So watch for some of those classes coming up too.
Talk with Butch.
Talkwithbutch.com.
All right, sweet. All right, agents. Until next time, we hope that you started off the new year awesome.
Yes.
And we will talk to you again soon. See you later.
Awesome.
Thank you.